Hi everyone. Welcome to this October episode of Exits, where we cover what all happened in the public markets, especially around IPOs, before IPOs, and after IPOs. So, in the month of September, we had about five DRHPs that were filed by companies that were backed by VCs and PEs. The first company among them is an interesting company called Pernia's Pop-Up. It is a company which basically operates omnichannel luxury fashion platform, which means that they sell goods such as women's wear, menswear, jewelry, etc. through online format as well as offline stores. The interesting piece is that they've got the shops are called experience centers. 13 of them are in India and one of them is in London, Mayfair, which is an interesting address to have. The investors on this cap table are ValueQuest, Singularity, and Volrado. The IPO size, which is fresh issue plus OFS, is about 660 crores. And this entire 660 crores is being used as fresh issue, which means that there is no secondary that is happening or no OFS that is happening in this company. If you look at the performance of the company in the last financial year, the company had a revenue of 490 crores, but they grew on revenue. Their EBITDA was about 42 crores, which is about 9 or 10% of EBITDA margins. PAT wise, they were negative of about 190 crores or so. We haven't looked at it deeply, but probably it could be like they're investing or there is amortization, interest cost, something might be hitting them. The next interesting company which has got a lot of limelight is an investing platform called Groww. This is a company which has come up to speed, which has grown by a large scale over last few years, especially since it's a platform which the younger audiences love a lot. This is called Groww. It's a digital investing platform which allows investors to invest across multiple asset classes such as equity, derivatives, mutual funds, and so on. And by the way, they also acquired an AMC from India Bulls. Here's the interesting fact. This is a company which has been built over less than last 10 years, and they account for 13% of the SIP flows in the country in 2025. That in itself is an achievement. So whatever, I think the SIP flows in the country are about $3 billion or so, out of which 13% is brought by Groww. The investors here are Peak 15, Ribbit, Y Combinator, Tiger Global, and Kaufman's Fellow Fund. That also reminds me, this investment in Peak was led by, I think, Ashish Agrawal, who was also on the Midas list this year. The IPO size over here is about 8,000 crores, of which the fresh issue is about 1,000 crores. The remaining is 7,000 odd crores is OFS. The market cap expected for this IPO is about 70,000 crores. And this 7,000 crores hence accounts for about 10% of the market cap, in which Peak 15 is selling about 27.5%, which would be roughly, give or take, about 1,800 odd crores or so. Ribbit Capital is selling 20% of the OFS. This was a company formed or incubated under Y Combinator and then came back to India. So Y Combinator is selling about 18%, Tiger Global is selling about 11%, Kaufman's Fellow of 5% of the OFS, and the remaining small, less than 1% by the promoters. Their revenues are about 3,900 crores, growing at about 50% YOY, which is an impressive growth at that scale. EBITDAs of about 2,500 crores, which is a massive 65% EBITDA margin business, which is very software-like margin, and a PAT of about 1,800 crores. Their AMC business has about 2,500 crores of AUM. They are probably in build-up phase for this business. So that's Groww. The next company which is filed as DRHP is a company which is into giving the architectural facets and curtain wall solutions. Now this is a very niche, which also talks about that in India, niche plays are also getting available in the listed space. This is a company which would be designing, engineering, manufacturing, as well as installing these facets and curtain solutions in various high rises, etc. There's a company called Glass Wall Systems. They are invested by, like, the investor on the cap table is Motilal Oswal Private Equity. The IPO size is about 660 crores, wherein the fresh issue is only about 60 crores. The market cap here expected is 1200 crores, so a small market cap, and 600 crores would be about 50% would be sold, wherein most of it is being sold about 75% by Motilal. The revenue over here is about 245 crores. Again, a degrowth this year of about 13%. EBITDAs of about 65 crores, which is a good margin business of about 27-30%, and making a PAT of about 45 crores. So that's the third company that we have. Then another brand which has been talk of the town, PhysicsWallah. Many interesting things over here. Like, this is a company which, in the education edtech funding space, came a bit afterwards on the block, but has been growing by leaps and bounds over a period of time. So quickly, what they are an omnichannel education play, focusing on test prep, K-12, upskilling, and they have both online as well as offline formats. The offline centers are called Pathshalas, which is a Hindi equivalent. Pathshala is a place where you study, or a school, or whatever you like to call it. Two very interesting facets about this company. Like, this is a very rare company wherein at this scale, wherein the anticipated valuation of this company is about 40,000 crores. The founders own about 80% of the company. Like, as far as I remember, all companies that we would have covered in this series, none of the companies would have this high founder ownership, which is a great thing for founders. The second interesting thing which my colleague Dagash, who has been helping on this, brought to picture was that there is also a biopic web series around their name called PhysicsWallah. So good times. The investors on the cap table here are Westbridge, Ondil, GSV, and Lightspeed. The IPO size over here is about 3,800 crores, of which fresh issue is 3,100 crores, which also talks about that the company is in investment phase still. So this 3,100 crores would go into investments of sorts. This would be covered in the use of proceeds in the DRHP, which we haven't dug deeper into. But if somebody is interested, they could find where they plan to invest this capital. The market cap, as I said, expected over here by various public media or news is about 40,000 crores. The 720 crores of OFS is only being offered by the promoters, like half by Alak Pandey and half by Prateek Group, which also talks about the belief probably that investors have in this company to grow upwards and onwards from here. Last year, their performance, they did about 2,900 crores, of which they had an EBITDA margin of about 8%, which is equivalent to about 200 crores plus. Their revenue growth has been very impressive, about 50% YOY. At this scale, 50% is pretty impressive. And they're making losses of about 240 crores or so. So that's PhysicsWallah. The last company which filed their DRHP is a company called Leap India. Now, this is a space, again, a very niche play, which is into circular economy, which is basically they are into asset pooling and returnable packaging solutions, such as pallets, foldable containers, utility boxes, etc., which run in a closed loop model rather than single-use packaging. Here, the investor on the cap table is Vertical Holdings, which is an entity of KKR. The total issue size is about 2,400 crores, of which 400 crores is the fresh issue per se, and the remaining 2,000 crores is an OFS component. And almost the entire part of this OFS is being sold by KKR. The anticipated valuation is 4,000 crores, so about 50% would be sold. The revenue of this company is about 470 crores, growing at about 28% YOY. Their EBITDA margins of about 270 odd crores and a PAT of about 40 odd crores. So That's in a nutshell what Leap India is.